You're probably wondering why I've asked you all to come here today. And the reason is I've been confused a little bit lately about why we're seeing vehicles show up in other places of the world outside of the United States that aren't showing up in the States. They're enthusiast vehicles. They're vehicles that we all want. They're vehicles that we all know that there is a market for in the US, and we just can't get them. Manufacturers, you would think, have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the United States enough to understand the vehicles that we would want as enthusiasts, the vehicles that we would need, the vehicles that we would actually reach into whatever source that we have, whether it's financing our own means to go out and purchase whatever that vehicle is. You'd think that we'd be able to get the vehicles in the States that so many enthusiasts want. And I'm talking about new vehicles, not pre owned, not vehicles that you could go over to Europe right now that fall under the clause that you can now start importing, because you can start importing some really cool stuff from other areas around the world outside the US now. What I'm talking about is brand new vehicles that manufacturers are building that push all of the right buttons, but we, as citizens of the United States, are not allowed to get a hold of. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and switch the page here. I'm going to show you what brought this on, and we're going to dive into some of the manufacturers' websites actually and show you what's available in the States and other countries that you can get that you can't get here. It's mind blowing to me that things are the way they are right now, and they have been this way for such a long time. There are so many cars over the years that I'm sure you have, and I know I have truly lusted after that I couldn't get my hands on. If you had told me that the Clio V6 was available, the Clio Sport was available in this country when it first came out, if we could have bought Renaults, I would have had one. Uh, there are myriad Alfa Romeos over the years that I would have definitely had in the stable. There are some Volkswagens that were only available in Europe back when I was actually buying racing. I had an R32, Mark IV R32, a Turbo S Beetle before that. Loved them, but there was some stuff available over in Europe and the UK, and there definitely are Volkswagens available over there right now, like the Golf R Wagon, um, just the transporters, the T7s. I love a van. Can't get them. Can't buy them here. Just they don't come here. Now the ID Buzz, that's one that is coming here that I may be seriously looking at, but that's neither here nor there. Today, we have gathered you here to talk about Subaru and what Subaru is doing outside of the US versus what they're doing inside the US. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over real quick. Boom. That car right there and that man driving it is truly, it was the catalyst for a lot of us. He put Subaru on the map in a lot of our minds. I know Subaru was around the rally world well before Colin McRae got into one of their cars, but when Colin got into that car, something magic happened, and all of us in the States started to take notice, especially those of us that had grown up in some way, shape, or form around a racetrack. Didn't even need to grow up around rally, and somehow Colin McRae and Subaru started basically working their way into the fabric of the cars that we wanted. And I truly, truly, truly wanted a Subaru because of him. The 2002 Subaru WRX was offered in this country. Natasha and I, my wife and I, we just got married. We were going to buy a car for basically a joint wedding present to each other. We went to a dealership, and basically we bought that right there. We bought a 2002 WRX wagon. It had gold wheels. It did not have silver wheels because how dare you buy a World Rally Blue Subaru without gold wheels? Um, we bought it. They spec'd it. It was being built. It took them a little while for it to get in. We went to pick it up on the day that we were supposed to pick it up. It happened to be parked right next to a 2002 Turbo S VW Beetle. I'm an old air-cooled Volkswagen guy. I can't help it. I have a soft spot for them. I love them to death. I went back inside the dealership and said, I know that you guys sold us a WRX wagon, but we haven't taken delivery of it yet. And you had the nerve to park that wagon right next to a Turbo S Volkswagen Beetle, and because of that, I have to drive the Beetle. I have to know. And for those of y'all that don't know, a lot of y'all probably do, but some of y'all don't. The Turbo S Beetle was basically a 337 GTI, 1.8 liter, 180 horse. Um, it's just a fun little car wrapped in a Beetle body. You either loved it or you hated it. More than likely, we loved it. And the VW at the time, it was just built nicer. It was a nicer car. So we never got our WRX wagon. We took the Beetle home. But I always have had a soft spot for the WRX and the WRX wagon in particular, and always thought that we would get around to potentially bringing one of those home at some point, someday. I thought we'd bring a wagon home, and we never did it. We absolutely never did it. It's really annoying to me that we never did it, but we never did. I would go on that North American Subaru, NASIAC, I think it's what the abbreviation is. I'd go in there periodically and just dream and just go through all of the builds and Cobb and whatever stage two is, whatever stage three is. Every company's stages are different. I don't understand. That's for another video. But I always thought we'd come back around to the WRX wagon, and we never did. So uh, about 3 days ago, I started digging around, just looking to see what Subaru was offering, and to my amazement, the WRX wagon actually has resurfaced. Um, it blew my mind. So I dug a little deeper, and I have some websites queued up for us to take a look at. This is the UK Subaru website, and these are the cars that are available through Subaru in the UK right now. SUVs, Crosstreks in all shapes and form, Foresters in all shapes and form. Actually, we just bought a new car. We replaced the Alfa Romeo. Subaru was high on the list. We test drove a Forester and we test drove a Sport Track. We drove a Forester Wilderness and we loved it. But we ended up not actually no. This is the North American. This is the North American website. I'm sorry. So we drove the Wilderness. The one we drove was spec'd out at about $42,000. Gorgeous car, rode nice. We're not really camping people. We're not really outdoorsy people, but we are dog people. We have two big dogs, and we were like, wagon makes a lot of sense. Put the dogs in the back because two Borzoi do not fit in an Alfa Romeo. I'm here to tell you, it just doesn't work. So we were looking at Subaru, really hot and heavy. The Outback and the Forester were in there as well as the Sport Track. Um, Loved them, but really, really, really wished that there was a WRX wagon. And down here in the Impreza trim line, or the Impreza body type, you've got the base. You've got the base 5 door. The North American aversion to wagons, estates, Avants, whatever you want to call them, I'll never understand it. I don't get it. It's the aversion is so great. It's to the point where a brand like Subaru calls the Impreza wagon a 5 door in the US because we as US citizens do not want a station wagon, which is the dumbest thing ever because next to the minivan, another video that we're going to make, the station wagon is the best vehicle that you could ever have. It's a great all-rounder. They can be fun, they can be practical, they can be pretty actually. I think there are many station wagons out there, estates, Avant, shooting brakes, whatever you want to call it, that are absolutely gorgeous. And here we go with Subaru in North America, just calling it a Sport 5 door or a Limited 5 door, whatever the trim model is. Just it's not enough. It doesn't have the oomph that a WRX would have. It has the CVT transmission, which, to be fair, having test driven the Forester, the Sport Track, and what was the other one? Oh, dude, dear Lord, not the Ascent. That one was too big. The Outback. All of them have had the CVT. As CVT goes, Normally can't stand them. We had a little CHR Toyota, had a CVT in it. The little thing could not get out of its own way. If you pushed it off a cliff, it would not have gotten out of its own way. It was so slow, so terrible. These things actually felt okay, and they had a manual mode with paddles where it would fake shift. Eh, yeah, whatever. Um, you're not fooling us. We know better. But yeah, if you scroll all the way down here, Subaru North America, they've got legacies. I'd love to see a legacy wagon. The legacy wagon was epic when it was available. Nothing. They have the Bruise. We like the Bruise. The Bruise is fun. The new Bruise is actually really, really good. Now they've actually added a little bit of power. And we get down to WRX and a noticeable lack of a station wagon model, which not shocking, but upsetting is the best way I can put that. Not shocking, but not happy about it. So North America, nothing, nothing to offer. Switch over to the UK. They've got some cool stuff going on in the UK that we don't have over here. The Solterra, I believe, the Solterra is either here or coming here. Very much like to drive one. If you're an EV person, stay tuned. We're definitely going to be test driving some EVs and giving our opinions on some EVs in the future. Uh, but haven't been able to get a hold of one yet. And I haven't even seen one in person yet. So if you've seen one of those, let us know. What do you think about it? I'm really curious about what Subaru is offering in the EV realm. Um, Over in the UK, they are pushing the electric and the hybrid vehicles over there in a big, big way. They have this XVE Boxer, Forester E Boxer, stuff that we can't get in the states, to my knowledge. I don't believe that's offered in North America. I could be completely wrong, but I did not see really any electrics in the grand scheme. I don't think they're offering anything yet as far as hybrids or pure electric vehicles in the United States. And I'm just going to take a look through that website. Oh, hybrid. There we go. Okay. So we have a Crosstrek hybrid. All right. That's semi intriguing. But going back to the UK Subaru website, they have all kinds of stuff, man. The Subaru XV looks to be cool. The Solterra looks to be cool. Um, the one thing noticeably missing from the Subaru UK site is no WRX. So no WRX over there. The only estate that they're showing the Solterra as an estate. That's more of a crossover SUV to me than an estate. But again, that's neither here nor there. Self-charging hybrids, SUVs and crossovers, estates. Nary a WRX to be found in the UK, which is odd considering the affiliation of Colin McRae and Richard Burns. You would figure there'd be enough people in the UK to warrant Subaru keeping the WRX available in that market. But no. And then we come to the one market that you can actually get some cool stuff in from Subaru right now if you're an enthusiast, if you truly love the WRX brand. Now, I know in North America, you can still get the WRX here. And everybody that I know and trust that's in the automotive realm that has driven a WRX likes it. They don't necessarily like the styling, they like the driving dynamics. They like the overall package, basically. The styling is, it's another one of those things where you either love it or maybe you don't. You got to take a look, decide for yourself. But this is why we're here. WRX on the Subaru site in Australia. Australia gets all of the cool toys. I don't know what it is about manufacturers offering really what I want anyway. I don't know whether it's what you want, but the WRX is still offered in Australia. Awesome. The WRX is offered over here too, which we know that. But you scroll down. Let's see. I'll go over to sedan. I kind of gave it away there, but WRX all-wheel drive manual, WRX all-wheel drive sport linear track, which there's no way in the world you're going to get me to buy that transmission when there's a manual transmission available in the WRX. Another discussion for another day. The RS manual, big money. Australian dollar is a little off right now, and just it has been for a long time. 55,776 for the top spec WRX model over in Australia. The button on here though that I really wanted to push. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit longer. All of this cool stuff about basically what's an Impreza, and you've seen it a couple times if you were actually paying attention to the scroll. You've seen why we're here, and if you read the page, you know why we're here too. I'm just going to go ahead and say this before I go to why we're truly here. Here's another thing that they get over there that we don't get. They still get the STI. You're making the car. Hi. There's at least 5,000 of us in the U.S. that would buy an STI, bare minimum. When we bought our R32, it was a Mark IV R32. Um, it was one of 5,000 that came to the States, and we absolutely love that car. So you can still get the STI in Australia, and just gonna close that. Scroll down. Did I hit the wrong one? I might have hit the wrong one. I've been known to hit the wrong one. No. Boom, boom. Yep, hit the wrong one. We don't want Impreza. We want WRX and that little button right there. Are you kidding me? Now, you do pay a serious premium to get your hands on a WRX wagon. And look at that. In Australia, they call well, actually, it's not an Impreza. It's the, God, what do they call this thing over there? It starts with an L. I should know this. I should know this. But I can't remember off the top of my head. It's not an Impreza. It's another model that they've actually turned in and put the WRX package on, put a facelift on it, given it their symmetrical all-wheel drive system and everything that basically makes an STI an STI. I'm sorry, a WRX a WRX. Uh, they have put on these things, and they're glorious. And there's really, I don't know whether yeah, I'm just going to open up specs on the top of the line model. No, that's not what I want. Build your own. Let's build our own. We're going to end this video by building our own WRX all-wheel drive TS Sport Wagon. And as soon as I stop recording this video, I'm going to remember what. You're not going to let me build it without having a zip code. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. Let's do this. Australian zip codes. Let's game the system. Runs from 3,000 postal codes. Perth, 6152. We're going to go 6152 and see whether that works. Go. Yeah, we're in Perth. Not really. All right. WRX. Configure your new WRX. Are you excited? I'm excited. Sport wagon. 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty. Symmetrical all-wheel drive. We knew that. 2.4 liter turbocharged, horizontally opposed, direct injection, boxer 4-cylinder petrol engine. That's a lot of words. Those are a lot of words to say 2.4 liter turbo. Boxer. Sport linear-tronic transmission. Do all of them you have to get linear-tronic with the wagon. Strike one. Strike one. Offer it with the manual. Come on, y'all. Let's see here. SRS front passenger seat. Okay, that's no big deal. 11.6 tablet. 11.6 inches is substantial for infotainment these days. Subaru's Vision Assist. They've got eyesight on these cars, which is good. Eyesight, the ADAS system that Subaru currently has, the eyesight system is unbelievable. One of the best. If you're worried about safety equipment, eyesight is on it. Driver monitoring, electric sunroof, don't want that. Wish you could just delete that. Sat nav, don't need it. I don't know why. Why are manufacturers still putting sat nav in cars when we have Fruit Play and Robot Play to just plug our phones? I don't get it. I just don't get that at all. Heated seats, hand free, power tailgate, kind of nice. Don't need it. Additional Subaru Vision Assist, whatever. Electronic control dampers, that's kind of cool. Wonder exactly how good those work. Comfort, normal, sport, sport plus, and individual modes. Ultra suede seat trims, probably Dynamica. If you don't know what Dynamica is, look it up. If you've ever wanted Alcantara parts, Dynamica is Alcantara, but it's about a third the cost. Highly recommend it. Making some stuff with it right now. It's really cool. Instrument cluster, dual tailpipes, of course. Exterior TS badge, don't care. Let's build it. What are the options available for the double X wagon? Crystal white pearl, ice silver metallic, ignition red. That's just a base red. Not a fan. I'm going to save the best for last. So I'm skipping over that. Sapphire blue pearl. Oh, really, that's not a WRXE color. That everything's gray. Next time you're out on the road, do yourself a favor, look around and just count all the white, gray, and black cars. The guy that owns 2 black daily drivers says. Um, Black doesn't look bad. But if you're going to get a WRX of any kind, there's really only one color that you should ever be allowed to get, and that's it. I present to you the only acceptable color. So we're definitely going that color. The only interior color is black ultra suede. Okay. Styling pack. Well, of course I want to look at the features. Rear diffuser, roof spoiler, front bumper skirt, and side under spoiler. Let's just add the whole thing. How could we not? We're just specking it up. $3,244.97 of added accessories. Door visors, accessories, 31 items in total that you could tack onto this thing for literally no reason. I don't think anyone would really want any of this that fall. Well, maybe you would a little bit. You want to look at that? I don't care about it, but we can look at it if you want to. I really want to look at what's in the STI performance offerings. Oh, you get some wheels, rear side under spoiler. Okay, so it's different than what we just chose, but I doubt it adds it. I don't think it adds it, and it doesn't add it to the desktop image, which is a shame. Those are awesome, but they're not $3,100 awesome. And it does not show if you choose them. Really, Subaru, if you choose a $3,100 set of wheels in the configurator and it doesn't show them on the car that you are building to potentially buy, that's oversight. You messed up big time. Fix that. STI roof spoiler, of course we'd want that. STI, yeah, sure, we'd want all that probably. Styling, I think we already fit all the styling that we could fit. STI front grille, sure, I'd want that too. Definitely don't want those. Machine faced wheels. I am emphatically anti machine faced wheels. Won't do it. Can't do it. Don't want to do it. If you like them, more power to you. Can't do it. And then a 3-year service plan for $1,200. Nope, I'll change my own oil. Thank you. Good Lord have mercy. The little bit of options that we put on this thing, 73,336 Australian dollars. What is, I just need to look at the conversion rate on that because that terrifies me. Let's see here. Aus to US dollar. All right. Converter. Boom, boom, boom. That's painful, man. Um, so 70. Come on now. So if you convert 73,336 to US dollars, today's current rate of exchange, you get a little less than 50 grand US. I don't think that's a $50,000 car. And I know that the way MSRPs are set up around the world, you can't look at that and convert it straight to US dollars. That would probably be, I'd say that's probably a $42,000 car, maybe a $45,000 car in that spec in the US, but it's not a $49,000 car, I don't think. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm not sure. So the moral of the story is if you're willing to move to other places on the planet and there's a car out there and a manufacturer out there that won't bring that car to the States, you could move to get it. Don't know whether it's worth doing that or not, but you could, if it means the world to you and you grew up watching that thing and wishing that you could get that here, or you grew up watching that guy and Richard Burns and all of the Finnish names that I can't pronounce that would turn me into sounding like the Swedish chef if I tried to pronounce them. You could watch them race and have fun and rekindle your passion for Subaru, and maybe you'd want to move to Australia to jump into an STI or get you that WRX wagon, or you could just get a WRX here and go out to Dirtfish and have some fun and learn how to drive in the dirt if you haven't ever done that before. I'm not really sure what your poison is, but I just wanted to bring up maybe a new segment here. Maybe we turn this into something regular. We go out and we take a look around on manufacturers' websites and see what's available in the States and what's available around the rest of the world. I've had fun. I'm Yoda. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all those things. We want to grow this thing. We're about ready to turn on a bunch of video and a bunch of different things that we have going on in the shop. We're going to turn that onto the channel and have at it basically with a lot of new content. We've got the Panos in the garage. It's a Panos GTS race car. It's amazing. It's LSX powered. It's fire breathing and it's epic. We have a Monte Carlo. We have a very special Monte Carlo that it used to race and it's going to race again. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to unveil that. We have the E36 that needs a new drive line. Tad, I'm sorry we blew that up at the Lemons race, but we'll fix it for you, or you'll fix it and we'll help, and then we'll go blow it up again. I think that's how that works. There's a little '68 Merlin, Formula Ford, Formula B. It could be either spec depending on the wheels and the body kit that you put on it. That's sitting in the shop. We just picked up the Yoder household. Just got rid of the Alfa Romeo. We had a Giulia TI Sport as Natasha. Actually, it was my daily driver. Then it was hers. And then I got the Chrysler Pacifica that I do track that you'll be seeing some of. It's the shop van for Nemesis Lab in 0 to 60, but it's also a little bit of a project, and I play around with it on racetracks, and it's fun, and it makes people giggle like they're 3 years old, so that's a good thing. So the Alfa Romeo turned into, of all things, a Kona N, which is epic, absolutely freaking epic. And as soon as I get back behind the wheel and recovered fully from this concussion that I have right now, there will be a lot of content with that car as well. I hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you so much for following along with what we do here at 0 to 60. We greatly appreciate it. And like I said, if you don't mind liking, subscribing, and sharing, and clicking the little bell and doing all the things that folks on YouTube ask you to do, that would be great. We want to grow this thing into something special and bring y'all along for the ride. Y'all have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon.